Thanks for checking out this video. Don't forget, like and subscribe. What are we doing here? And so then, finally, Kenny says, you know what, that's funny, but it doesn't hit the mood. How about some 2000 alternative music? And they start playing Let the Bodies Hit the Floor from the fucking ECW reboot. The fucking reboot.
Dude, before that, I think it was
WWE.
a SmackDown theme.
It might have been.
It was Stephanie McMahon's theme during the invasion.
So they're
This
fucking
is an old song.
playing this song. And the best thing about Anarchy in the Arena is when they play these songs, it's like they play the whole song through, and then there's like a pause, and then they hit it again. And every time they hit it again, the crowd pops bigger than the previous time. And so, you know, they play this for like 15 minutes in this match. And then finally they do a spot where they do the giant swing with Claudio, and he slams Swerve through allegedly a speaker, because there's one speaker that provides the music for this entire building.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that's the gimmick they used to get rid of the music. But other than that, it was I think I wrote 7,000 words just recapping every crazy fucking thing that they did in this match. And it was wild. Absolutely insane.
I wrote 589 words about this match alone.
I might have written more.
Yeah. I wrote 2. It's that ruled.
So, yeah, there was all sorts of stuff here. So they did gimmick with Joe. Joe did not come out with his team at first. And we were speculating, how cool would it be if he did a Twisted Metal-themed entrance? But no, he just came out and choked Claudio or Mox or whoever it was from behind. And
you mentioned Swerve's Predator gear.
Swerve came out in full Predator gear with the heat vision, the thermal vision video. That was awesome. And they start with the entrance that you went over, and we're all just
1,000 words. 1,043.
We're just frustrated.
God damn.
And they go to a 4-way split screen, and dudes are fighting outside.
That's an old Penthouse column I would have got $1,000 for. Fuck. Yeah.
So they're doing this comedy about the music and everything, and it's one of those. Actually, like 3 times they hit me in the match, but you just look at the screen and like, Shibata of all people is in this match.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So there were a couple of Sabu tribute spots. Marina busts a bottle, or Willow busts a bottle over Marina's head, like Cactus Jack and Sabu. And Moxley's using a fork, which is not his usual weapon of choice, but hey, Sabu used one. So Marina ends up, the Bucks are doing spots and doing the gritty in their big, heavy Revolutionary War coat and tails. And eventually the action spills back down to ringside. Marina is chained by the ear, or the lobe.
It was Willow.
Willow, I keep doing that. But she's chained to the post. Crowd is chanting, please help Willow. And eventually they did. And there was I will say, as great as this was, it went like 40 minutes. But there was a lull in between the point where the music stopped down to when they broke out the staple guns. And there was a bit of a lull in between there where the crowd, like, we've seen all this. And they picked up at the end. But so they pick out the staple guns. And it shoots staples, and there's staples in guys' hair and head and Swerve's tongue that stayed there till the end of the match, after the match, in fact. And then they just do a very simple sequence. Swerve finds very creative ways to casually staple gun people as they're passing by. Looks very much like Neo in the Matrix. But he gets cut off. Omega hits the ring. He hits suplexes all over the world. Snapdragon suplexes, like 8 of them. Then he gets cut off. The Bucks hit 1,000 super kicks, and then they get cut off. And then we get the big returns and surprises. Hook returns with a golf club. He takes out Claudio. But then he looks at Joe in the ring. Joe invites him to come beat more ass, but Hook turns his back on him, and Hook walks out.
Well, Hook was back at the TV, but he was still getting evaluated, so I'm not sure that they cleared him to do anything other than hitting a guy with a golf club.
Okay.
So that might be what happened right there. But yeah, he showed up, he did that, and he left. And then Gabe Kidd showed up. And, of course, everybody's expecting Eddie Kingston. But Eddie Kingston had mentioned this weekend that he wasn't ready and he wasn't going to be there. And the problem is it's wrestling, so when you say that, everybody presumes you are going to be there. But, in fact, he was telling the truth. And so to make the save for Gabe Kidd and even odds, it ends up being Mark Briscoe.
Still covered in blood.
Still caked in blood
Yes.
from head to toe.
Yeah.
And, yeah, he helped lock all the Death Riders in the ambulance so that the Bucks were alone in the ring with Kenny and Swerve. And then this finish, Kenny ends up taking Matt to the stage, and he gives him a one-winged angel off the stage through a table to the floor. But that's not enough. Apparently there was a grenade under the table as well.
It was wired to
because
explode.
it fucking exploded.
Yeah.
Just like for
Not
the hell
like
of
it
it.
explodes in pieces of wood.
No.
Sparks and fire.
No, this was a bigger explosion than that Kenny Omega Moxley bomb match or
It
whatever
was.
they did.
It actually was.
Significantly bigger.
Yeah.
And then in the ring, Swerve got a pair of shoes from Nana with thumbtacks on the
Yeah,
bottom.
these are Swerve's own custom shoes.
Yep.
These are not the versions you find in the box, I don't think.
No. But, I mean, my only problem with this match was that was going to be the finish. And so what they had to do was Swerve had to take off his shoes. He had to untie them. He had to take them off. He had to put the other shoes on. He had to tie the shoes so they didn't fall off his feet. And I'm just sitting there watching this going, bro, how long does it take to fucking put shoes on? Like, they should have done this like a little bit earlier while some brawl was... he should have been putting on the shoes as they did the One-Winged Angel.
I think the idea was the camera would be focused on Kenny and whichever Bucky had.
Well, they missed the cue or whatever, because
Yeah.
we just watched this fucking guy put his shoes on like he was Mr. Rogers for about 5 minutes. And then he hits the
I never
big
saw Mr. Rogers with the shoes like these.
Swerve stomp and pinned him. So, yeah, I think they need to do one of these a year, but only one. It should always be a double or nothing. And you, the listener, should always go live. Have you grabbed your F4WOnline.com shirt yet? Well, we got a bunch of them. They're up in the store right now. F4WOnline.com/shirts. You can grab your -5 stars shirt, your Dave Meltzer Wrestling Observer shirts, even the brand new After Dark Radio shirt. You love Granny? We have Granny's Gang shirts. Have you ever won a shoot battle royal? Probably not, but you can tell people you did. So check out the store. All of these great shirts and more. It's through Pro Wrestling Tees. F4WOnline.com/shirts. That's F4WOnline.com/shirts.